In this video, we're going to talk about how an account administrator on RequestProposal.com can add a user to their account. Now, each account that's registered on RequestProposal is at different membership levels. Currently, we have three membership level 1, 2, and 3, and the lowest one can have 5 sub-users, and the highest one can have, I think, up to 20. So, depending on what level you're at, you can add that many users to your account. Now the users can be at different roles, different levels, and we will talk about that as we go along. Now I'm going to demonstrate how a buyer user can add a sub-user to the account. However, a supplier user can also do the same exact thing. The screens look very similar, so a supplier can follow this instruction too. So let me log in as a buyer. So when I log in as a buyer, I go to the buyer dashboard. Now a supplier will be taken to the supplier dashboard. Screens look similar, they're not the same, but on the top left hand side you see a button called Manage Users. This is how you administer the users that you add to your account. Click on Manage Users and you'll be taken to the user administration screen. First, you will need to add the email address of the user that you want to add, and preferably this email address is one that is provided by your organization to that user. So it will be name@company.com. So in my case, I will put in a demo email ID, but this email ID needs to be accurate because in order to activate the account, the user whose email ID it is needs to have access to their email ID and be able to activate the account from the email. So I'm going to enter and I need to enter a temporary password which that user will reset the first time they log on. Enter it twice for accuracy. Enter that user's first name, if you know the phone number you can enter it, otherwise you can leave it blank. Now this is a very important field, the role of the user. Currently, and this may change, we have 3 different roles, 3 on the buyer side, 3 on the supplier side. Well, you have 4, but you are the administrator and there can be only one administrator in any account. The other 3 roles are the supervisor, who has almost the same access, but they can't add users and they can't pay invoices. You have the operator, who can, for the buyer, create RFPs and buyer RFIs. And for the supplier, you can, the supervisor, the operator can create proposals and supplier RFIs. And each one has a read-only role, which, as the name implies, they can view all the proposals, RFPs, RFIs, and documents attached, but they cannot make any changes. The read-only role is meant for researchers and analysts in either the supplier or the buyer team. So in our case, we are going to select the role of buyer supervisor. And then we have to read and agree to the terms, view the privacy policy, and agree to it. Type in the CAPTCHA control, which just makes sure that this is not a robot software that's filling it in. It's a human being. And then create the user. It tells you that an email will be sent to the user and you'll be taken back to the dashboard. If you go back to manage users, you will see that down here a user has been added, Jane Doe, as a buyer supervisor. However, the user status is R, which means that the user still needs to log in and verify that their email address is real and that then they have to reset their password. Now, the user that you just added has received an email. So Jane Doe has received an email in her email account that says, hey, an administrator has added you as a user, but you need to activate this account. In most cases, you will see that there's a clickable link here. However, if the link cannot be clicked, you need to copy and paste this whole link into your browser window so that you go to the place where it's intended. So in this case, it is clickable. It's blue. You click on it, and the new user, will be taken to requestproposal.com, where you will need to reset your password and activate your account. So you enter your email ID to make sure you're the right person. And choose a new password. It's good to choose a strong one with numbers and letters and words that are not in the dictionary, but we don't force you to do that. And enter it twice. Pick a secret question to which only you know the answer and whose answer you will remember, because this could be used for future if in the future if you need to access some information. It's a security question. You need to read and agree to the terms and privacy policy, and once again, that user needs to enter the CAPTCHA words. Now I can't read this, so what you can do here is ask the system to give you a new set of words, which are almost equally unreadable, but the caps and lowercase is important here. So the new user's password has been successfully reset. So all the user has to do now is to log in to their new user account. Now the new user can log into their account using their email ID as a username, which is and the new password that they selected as their password. And they're logging in as buyer too. So you notice that now I'm logged in as a new user, and since I'm a user supervisor, I don't have access to manage account or to manage users, but I can manage contacts. I can manage the response template. I can create a new RFP because of the role that I was assigned.